Well, I'm getting a late start this morning. Since all the snow is just about gone around here, I found out just how well my dogs eat. So I was doing a whole different kind of prospecting this morning. But I'm all done with that. I'm going to do the real thing. Be back in a minute. Well, we made it to our spot. And this is a new spot. The other day, somebody asked me, well, how can we keep going to the same spots over and over? And I thought about it almost a second. And I said, well, it's exactly like pulling the wife's hair out of the shower drain. You get that big first glop, but you know there's a little more in there, and you just got to get the rest out. But I am going to try a new spot today just for you. So let's take a look at it. This creek is right now it's moving pretty good with all the meltwater. And as you can see, it's still winter up here a little bit. I'm a ways north of my house. And this one drops down, oh geez, I bet you 150 feet. Oh, I don't know, in about 400 yards down that way. It drops down pretty good, and there's another pretty good sized river down at the bottom where this hits down that way. And this is chewing through some bedrock up in this area, and there's a mountain over there, you know, for around here, all glacial material. And I think this might be a good prospect. So I'm gonna get suited up. Let's go kick it. Well, I think I might have found my first location here. That river's coming down. And it makes a big bend around this way. And then it takes a real sharp turn right here. And then we get around this big tree I'm standing next to. Then it makes another turn back this way. And then it keeps twisting and turning down that way. And I will make it down there. But for now, I thought that I would try right behind this big boulder. Now, that's pretty good size. That's the size of the bed of my truck right there. And it's coming right off, kind of in a line right here on that inside bend right there. And I hope maybe the material is getting pushed right on top of this dang thing here, or around it. And there's a big dead pool right here. So I'm gonna try to find a spot to set the camera up. And I brought my tube, and I'm gonna try to pull a little bit of material out of there, because I think the water is moving a little bit too fast to keep it on the shovel. So let's give this a whirl. Well, there is really nowhere to set my camera up right here. I'll have to figure something out downstream a little bit, but I'm on a pretty steep bank and everything's just sliding. But I did have my tube here, and I got about a half a pan or so material in my little strainer in my pan from right behind here in this dead spot. I'll probably get a little more, and then I'll find a spot here I can pan that out on camera, and we'll see if we can find some black sand, etc. Alright, looks like we found a decent spot. Let's classify this all around here a little bit in my strainer. See what comes of this. Right away I see a lot of white light rocks. But I'll take a look at it. Okay, we'll set this there. And I don't see anything particularly Interesting looking in that. A lot of broken up granite. Some light, looks like sandstone. Yep, it's sandstone. Real soft and it brushes off. But we'll see what's in the sand. It's dirty, that's for sure. Kind of a different color sand than on that last trick. It's got a kind of an orange hue to it. And it's not clay, it looks like it is the sand and maybe some silt on top, but it's definitely got a little bit different color. And I did get down pretty good. I stayed in one spot behind that rock to make sure I got down a few inches. And there is a little bit of black sand in there. I don't know. I don't think it's what I'm looking for, but it's a start. And I'm just here prospecting. So let me roll this back. The black sand that is in here, it's pretty coarse. So that's a good start. Not too much black sand. And no gold. Well, I poked around in here a little bit and I'm just not finding what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go downstream a little bit further and see if I can get my shovel in the ground. And maybe get down a little deeper looking for some black sand or whatnot. So let's head it down. Well, we came down a little ways and this water is really cooking through here. I don't see me getting any material out of this stuff. It is really dropping in elevation, and right over there it goes. So I'm going to keep working my way down, and maybe I'll get down to the mouth down there where it hooks up to that small river. Try to take a few samples. But this sure is a nice spot to look at. There's that hill I was telling you about. This camera ain't doing that justice, but that's straight up. I'm not going up there. That is one sharp turn right there. Look at that. That's going right over a big, huge chunk of bedrock that's kind of jettisoning out right there. I'd like to get my mitts in there when that water's down. Right behind that. And then that river really pinches down right here. And it's dropping and dropping and dropping. Right over there in the distance, you can see the main river. Let's take a little walk. Get around a couple of these trees here. There's the team. All right. And there is where it meets up with the other river. Now that river is quite a bit bigger in size than this one. So I'm thinking, and maybe I'll try to, holy cow, is that moving? Maybe I'll try to get a sample from around that corner, downstream a little bit, right up on the bank. See if maybe this other river in conjunction with this one is depositing any material that I want over there. Back in a minute. You know, it sure was nice last week having having Mike around to help me out. I didn't have to do every single little thing myself. And I knew he wasn't coming today. So I went and got me a cheap hooker to help me out down here on the river. This should move some rocks for me. That water is dirty. That was a leap of faith because I can't see the bottom. A leap of faith. Alright, so I'm going to try right up against this bank right here. This water's coming pretty good, about 2 feet out of there. And it looks like all sand. You got another one there? Oh, I can feel some gravel underneath there. Hold up. There's some big rocks, big old pieces of granite. Some more of that sandstone. All right, this one here is from down a little bit deeper, and I can already tell the sand's different. It's got a little more texture to it, and there's quite a bit of black sand. If I'm not mistaken, I may have just seen a little dot of gold up at the top there. Let me get this down a little bit. But it could have been that mica. There's an unbelievable amount of large pieces of mica in that stuff, but it floats off when you strain it. Well, it doesn't float, but when you're running your pan here, it goes out. That's a good amount of black sand. I'm getting excited about that. And I did see a piece of gold. It is currently floating. Right? Where the heck did that thing go? Well, it was a minus a billion anyway, but there was a little dot of gold. And it floated up. Look at that. That's not a nice black sand. I'm not seeing any ounce nuggets. So I'm going to get just a little bit deeper in that hole and see what else there is. Back in a minute. Pan 2. Good amount of black sand again. Looks almost like the deeper I go, the more black sand there is. I haven't seen one speck of gold in it, but it does look promising. I think what I'm going to do is wrap it up here. This water is just moving too darn fast, but it won't be long, and all this melt off will slow down, and I'll be able to get in here and kind of pick and choose what I want to do with this place. But it sure was fun coming down here, and it looks like I've got another decent prospect. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed coming down here. Well, as usual, I'm back at the shop to do the big wrap up. That was a lot of fun down there. It's a really good looking area, and I think it's going to be a good prospect once that water goes down a little bit. That feeder creek, I know from the past going by there, and I have walked it once before, that there's not a lot of water on that thing in the summertime. So I think I should be able to dig some holes in there and really get a feel for what's in that area. So if you like today's episode, like, share, subscribe please, and until next time, Flour Gold Wizards out.